Awesome.
And we are hosting safe zone training, and that's introducing us to the LGBTQIA plus community.
Yeah. Hold on, Stu. I'm going to give you my thing. We're live now.
Oh.
I think. Where's my camera? Hi, friends. Welcome to Confirmation. Stu is going to give an announcement because Mount Pleasant is becoming, you are on the, what team?
Beyond Welcome.
Beyond Welcome team. Okay.
And we are working to be intentionally welcoming in to all of our the community, LGBTQIA plus especially. And we are hosting Safe Zone training on the 24th of this month, which is a Tuesday, starting at 4 p.m. So that's after school. We're all welcome.
Oh, young
the-
people are welcome too.
To the training, yes.
Awesome.
If you guys are interested in learning about
Okay.
that community, come to the training. That training is 90 minutes,
Okay.
and the big bonus is, mom's not going to be, this training is going to start at 4 o'clock, and mom's thinking, dinner time? Well, after the training, we will be provided with a meal.
Training and dinner
Yeah,
on Tuesday the 24th.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, almost like dinner and a movie,
Yeah. LCR is invited, I think. Yes. Okay.
So, 24th,
Tuesday.
night, 4 p.m.,
Okay.
and that's 90 minutes.
All right.
So that goes till 5:30 p.m.
So cool.
Okay.
I'm
Anybody
excited
that's
about this.
interested, on our website, I know for sure, there'll be a sign-up so we can see
Okay.
how many people are coming, so
Awesome.
we know how much food to prepare.
Yeah, we need food. All right, training and dinner. That sounds awesome. Thanks, Stu. You rock. I think I'm good. I don't know. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Confirmation. I'm Pastor Kelly. You know me. But it feels like forever since I've seen you. Like, when was the last time we had Confirmation? When was it? Before Thanksgiving. It was last year, and my brain is just mush. So I'm so confused about what's happening. But today we get to start in the second part of the Bible called the New Testament, which is very cool. But before we can go there, we get to ask a little bit about break. Some of you are still on break. Who is still on school break? Doesn't go back to school till next week. Just you?
What school is that?
I mean, that sounds like a good school. What school do you go to? Which one? Oh, Prairie's off all week. All right, got it. And then, who started back school today? A couple people? Who started back school yesterday?
I did.
Yeah, like all this week, another day starts.
I started back school
Monday? Like right away Monday? Not even a day off? Okay, good thing. Hopefully you didn't party over the weekend and you were ready to go. Hopefully, that's okay. All right, so I am super geeked about chatting with all of you. Who did something cool over break? All right, I want you to give your break like a Yelp review, right? So like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 stars. So choose, give me with your fingers. How many stars would you give Christmas winter break? Like, where are we at with some of us are very low stars on our break. 4, 5, awesome. 3, 8, 4.5. Okay, that works. Some of you are 5-star breaks. Okay, I'm really geeked to hear about this. Hopefully you'll get to talk about it with your fine folks. So Stu had an announcement. There is training coming up on Tuesday, January 24th for the intentional welcoming. Any other announcements I missed? Sometimes there's a paper. No papers? Yeah. I don't know if you are still able to sign up for Quake. That's a good question. Quake is happening in February. I don't think we have a lot of spaces left.
We had one male cancel. So if we can figure out the room situation,
Yeah.
depending on how old you are, we can take one more person.
Yes, and I don't have that memorized right away, so if you didn't sign up for Quake and you think you want to go, let us know, and Pastor Beth Ann and I will figure out what that means. We'll try and do it. Yeah. Yes. What day is Quake? Quake is a weekend in February. It's the 10th through the 12th. And it's very fun, and it's in Wisconsin Dells.
You're signed up.
You're already signed up, so you're coming. Hopefully you know when it is. By February 9th, you need to know that this is happening. Okay, anybody else? Announcements? Okay, I have an announcement that folks in my church have heard. Unfortunately, I am going to be leaving Racine pretty soon, so I'm here today, and I'll be here again on January 18th. But after that, Pastor Sheila's going to hang out a little bit in confirmation with all of you. And LCR and Mount Pleasant are going to keep working together for confirmation and youth group. So lots of things will still be the same with all your friends and your small group guides. I'm just the one that gets to lose out. So it's a bummer, but that is what's happening next. All right. So today we get to start in with the Magi. Does anyone know what Magi are or what it means? It's a weird word. I'll give you a hint. It has to do with Christmas. Anyone know what we sometimes call them instead of Magi? Yeah. Sometimes we call them the wise men. Yes. In fact, some Bibles even call them wise men. Now, how many of you have like a nativity at home, kind of like this one? Like here I noticed there is Mary and Joseph and Jesus. And I'm looking to see if we got any shepherds. You guys got any shepherds around here? No shepherds? Just these three. No shepherds came? Okay, do you have any Magi? Maybe they're very far away. Do any of you have one in your home? Who has one in their home? Okay, how many of you have Magi or three wise men in your set? How many of you have three men wearing a lot of outfits, carrying a thing, and one camel? Anybody have that option? Definitely a camel? Okay. Yeah. How many of you have three guys? One of them is definitely from Africa, and the other two are definitely not from Africa. Yeah, for sure. Someone at some point decided that is how we were going to make nativities based on zero information from the Bible, and now that is what we all have. We all have three guys wearing like funny-looking magic clothes. We're carrying really odd-looking gifts with a camel, and one of them is black. And none of that's in the Bible. But it's definitely in our nativities, so it's a thing. We all have it. It's okay. You got it. It's how it goes. So we're going to talk about them today because they're cool. Oops. Oh, I totally figured this out earlier. Now we're not going. I'm broken. Right arrow. Enter? Space? What do we got? Oh, geez. Come on, friends. Okay, friends, let's start with our prayer. Are we ready? Do I have a volunteer to read the prayer really loud with their loud voice? Anybody? Yeah? Go for it. This is kidding. You want to read it with your soft voice? You want to read it with me? Okay, you got it? Okay, go for it.
Jesus Christ, you are the light of the world. Help us to know you as Savior, Lord, and King. Let your glory fill the whole world. Rule all nations with mercy and justice. Fill our hearts with joy. Jesus Christ, you are the light of the world. Bring us your peace. Amen.
Amen. All right, let's see. Now we're good. Okay, we already did updates, volunteering. When's the next open table? 16th? 17th? Ooh, that would be a good time to volunteer. Some of you might get that Monday off of school. I don't know if that any of you do, but some of you might. 15th.
January 15th.
Okay. Sunday, January 15th. Some of you might get the 16th off of school because it's Dr. King Day. Not everybody gets that around here, but that's okay. All right, so here's my question back. Remember last year in December when I didn't get to see you all? How many of you celebrated Christmas? Okay, good answer. How many of you celebrated something else in December besides Christmas? Pastor Sheila, you did?
New Year's Eve.
Ooh, yeah, that's also in December. What did you celebrate? Oh, so many birthdays. You just had all the birthdays. So you've got 4 birthdays plus Jesus' birthday. You're just like loaded. Okay, who else? Yeah. You had a birthday too? Who else? Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Yeah, it's 2 different things, right? Also birthday? Yeah. Does anybody do St. Nicholas Day? That's super popular in like Racine and Kenosha. Yeah, lots of you do. All right, I did not know anything about St. Nicholas Day till I started working down here. Like it's a thing. So what do you do on St. Nicholas Day? I think it's the one with the shoes, right? Yeah? What do you do?
Just put your shoes under the tree and then you wake up and there's like not big presents but like little.
A shoe-size present. You get like a present in your shoe.
Like little like candies.
Not your stocking,
Not your stocking, your shoe.
but a shoe. And do you get to put out 2 shoes? Like I have 2 feet. Can I get 2 shoes? I only get 1 shoe worth of presents? Okay, what else?
I do my stocking, like
So you do stockings, but on St. Nick's Day. And on Christmas, your stockings get filled twice? Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, got it. There's no oranges in Germany. I feel like that doesn't work.
There was some sort of fruit.
Some sort of fruit.
And if you were a bad kid, you got a stick.
Oh, stick. Okay, good times. Stick, yeah. So St. Nicholas Day is, I thought it was Dutch, but maybe some parts of Germany. I don't know. Has anyone ever done Santa Lucia Day? Yes? You forgot about it. Do you do that?
Yes.
What do you do?
Basically just a warning thing.
So in the morning, one of the women in the house wears candles on her head. They wake everyone up with head candles. And they're singing. You get a cookie. So, well, that's better. If you're going to get woken up by a woman in your house with candles on her head, does she sing in Swedish? Yeah, singing in Swedish. You want a cookie at the end of it. That's very cool. Very big day in Sweden, for sure. Does anyone do anything with Las Posadas? So Emmaus and Racine actually did Las Posadas every day from December 16th through the 24th. A different family in their church hosted it. Las Posadas is the 9 days before Christmas, and it's in Spanish-speaking Catholic religion. 9 days has to do with the 9 months of birth. It's how long it takes to prepare for something. So every night, it's like a Christmas pageant, but you walk around town. So remember, in Spanish-speaking countries, there's no snow. It's lovely outside. So what they do for Las Posadas is a kid, usually your age, dresses up as Mary. Someone dresses up as Joseph. Did any of you ever have to do that for church? Like you have to dress up, they give you a staff. You don't have Christmas pageants here? Okay. Alex is gone. All right. So they dress up somebody like Mary and Joseph. If they have a donkey, they grab a donkey or like a stuffed donkey. And there's a whole song that they sing. And they walk around to houses and they knock on the door. And Joseph sings the song. It's long and in Spanish. And in Spanish it rhymes. And it's something along the lines of, this is Maria. She's carrying Jesus. And Jesus is God. And would you please let us in? And the person on the other side sings something along the lines of, no, I don't believe it's God. You don't look like God. You look homeless. Please go away. And then they go to the next house and they repeat it. And he says, I promise you, an angel came and talked to her. It's really legit. And then the people in the house go, no, you look like a homeless beggar. Please get out of my house. And they do this every night for 8 nights. And they never get to get in. It's about how there's no space for them. And then, I know, it is sad for days and days. But on the very last day, on the 24th, they actually get to a house and they sing the whole song. And then somebody from inside opens the door and they go, oh my gosh, are you Mary? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, that's great, because you have God. Come in. And then they come in and they have a big party because Jesus is going to get born. So that's like the innkeeper lets them in. So nowadays, if you do it in one day, so a lot of the churches do this. So Ascension Milwaukee and Ascension Waukesha do it in one day during that week, and they will walk around to lots of places, and they keep singing the song, and they say no, and they knock, and they sing the song, and you have to carry candles with you. And then when you get to the last place, they open it up, everyone comes in, there's a big piñata, and there's a whole nother song that you sing, and then everyone gets treats, because if you have to sing all this song, you need some treats at the end. There's delicious treats, and you get to have the whole big party, and it's very cool. Super cool. It's a lot of songs. Every country has a song that goes with it. It's Christmas. It's how it goes. Sorry, buddy. Anyone do Boxing Day? It's a British thing. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not that kind of boxing. Back in the day, Boxing Day was when you would give a gift, like a tip to somebody that would work for you. So Boxing Day is when you would give all your employees a gift or like other people small gifts. Anyone do Kwanzaa? Do you know what Kwanzaa is? Yeah, Kwanzaa has these colored candles with it and some foods, and it's about a week long, and there's a different candle and a theme every night. It's specifically an African-American holiday to connect with African history. And then some of you did New Year's Eve, but did anyone do Watch Night on December 31st? That's sort of where you do like a midnight prayer service, and you are like watching to see what God will reveal at midnight for you. So that's kind of cool. Some of that is based in African-American slave history, but a little bit is different now, so that's okay. All right, so King's Day is coming up tomorrow. Does anybody celebrate King's Day or Epiphany? You have any cool Epiphany traditions in your family? Yeah? I do too. Who else leaves their tree up until January 6th? Anybody? A couple of us. So, not so many. So, back in the day, the 12 days of Christmas were between Christmas Day and January 6th. So, back then, that's when you would get off of school. So, apparently, we have one school that's still doing it the old way, right? So, you would just be off of school that whole time. And so, I have a little video about King's Day. Let's see.
Today is Three Kings Day. Doesn't have the same fanfare as Christmas, but for some, it's every bit as sacred.
And in this morning's edition of Bridging the Divide, 13 Action News reporter Alicia Patillo explains the history behind this day of celebration.
Three Kings Day is about faith and family. The holiday dates back to the birth of baby Jesus.
To know the story, you have to look to the Bible, La Biblia.
Three Kings Day, or El Dia de los Reyes, is
Celebrated by many Spanish-speaking countries as well as many parts of the United States.
Three Kings Day marks the adoration of baby Jesus by the three wise men.
Matthew 2 tells the story of the birth of baby Jesus in Bethlehem and of the three kings who traveled from the east to follow and find baby Jesus. The three kings went to the king at the time, King Herod, and asked where baby Jesus is so they can go and worship him.
The story goes, a star appeared in the sky right before the birth of Jesus, and the three wise men followed that star across the desert in Bethlehem for 12 days until they reached the stable where Jesus was born.
The three kings traveled, following the star, and found baby Jesus. They brought him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
And this is why on the 12th day after Christmas, January 6th, those who believe pay homage to the three wise men who traveled far to give gifts to Jesus Christ. Andres Estrada, chairman for the Latin Chamber of Commerce here in the Valley, has been celebrating the sacred day since he was a kid, and now he's passed the tradition on to his own family. In addition to a large feast is Rosca de Reyes, or king cake.
Families enjoy a special bread called La Rosca de Reyes in the shape of King Herod's crown. And inside the cake, a baby Jesus doll has been hidden, just like Jesus hid from Herod in Egypt. La Rosca de Reyes symbolizes faith, family, and sweetness. Orange-flavored dough, super soft, with cinnamon sugar, garnished with candy fruit, sugary paste, very colorful, so you know the kids love it.
The tradition goes, whoever finds the Jesus doll inside the cake will receive good luck and must host a party on February 2nd. While this holiday is traditionally celebrated by those of Catholic and Christian faith backgrounds or in Latin America and Spain, Estrada hopes everyone can take something away from Three Kings Day.
So we hope to continue to share with others outside of the culture because it is a welcoming of breaking bread and reflecting on who we are and who we hope to be.
Alicia Patillo, 13 Action News.
Now, Alicia filmed this story inside of a La Bonita supermarket in Henderson, and they do have 7 locations throughout the valley, and during a holiday, they sell over 1,000 King's Cakes at each location. So for more information on this holiday and others, you can go to our website, ktnv.com.
Yeah. Whoa. We don't want to watch it again. Okay, yeah. You do the cake? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Oh, that's a good idea. Sometimes people put in beans, like dry beans. Yeah, so the rosca look like Herod's crown. It's delicious, and everyone gets a piece. Whoever gets the baby Jesus then has to host a party on February 2nd. So in the United States, that's Groundhog's Day. But back in the traditional Catholic calendar, February 2nd was the day, 40 days after Christmas, when the baby Jesus would have been presented in the temple by Jewish tradition. So it was called Candlemas. And in a lot of Latin American countries, so in Mexico where I lived, the celebrations start on December 12th. They have Virgin of Guadalupe Day. Then they do the posadas every night from the 16th to the 24th. Midnight Mass on the 24th with fireworks. Then you go home and sleep. And then on the 25th, you write letters to the king. Santa doesn't come in Latin America. The kings will give you a present after they visit Jesus. On their way home, if they have extra gold or something in their packs, they leave it for good children so that King Herod can't find them on their way home. They want to leave all traces of them behind. So the kings will bring you presents on the 6th, and then whoever gets the baby Jesus in their cake hosts a party on the 2nd, because that's when you put away your nativity scene. You take Jesus to church on February 2nd and have the priest bless it, and then you can pack it back away. But we didn't know this. We wanted to buy a nativity set in Mexico, and Jesus was like always bigger than the camel. And I'm like, not to be weird, but like your scale is off, right? Like there's a camel and then there's Jesus. And then we figured out it's because they always buy the Jesus separately. They want to take the Jesus into the priest to get it blessed. So they want this huge Jesus, like the richest people in town will have ginormous Jesuses, right? Like this, or like 200-300-pound Jesuses. And then they have just like a regular size nativity, right? So everybody else is very like normal size, and then there's this humongous Jesus. So it's pretty fun. All right, this is a question I think you could do in your small groups if you wanted to. How do you choose what presents to give to somebody? Because the Magi actually were not Jewish. Why does that matter? Think about what we talked about all last fall. How did we know that somebody was Jewish? What does it mean to be Jewish? Do you remember? Jewish was a particular religion, right? Yeah. And who had that religion? Where did it come from? Yeah. Yes, the area of Judea, right? Which is sometimes called Canaan. And we talked about how it started way back with Abraham, right? God told Abraham to follow him to this special promised land. And all of his descendants, right, were Jewish. So these Jewish folks kept hoping for somebody to come and save them. They said a Messiah would come and save them. So they were waiting for this. These Magi are not Jewish. So why do you think they came all this way? Like, they don't need a Messiah. They saw a star, yeah, for sure. And they were like, that star's cool. I guess so. So these folks, we don't really know what Magi translates to, but we think they might have been like professors or astrologers or like crazy scientists or something like this. Yeah, they were super, super smart people. And when they saw this star and they knew it wasn't a normal star, they were like, we need to know about this star. So before they went on a big trip, what do you think super smart people might do before they go on a massive trip to a foreign country to figure out a star? What like sort of things might they do to prepare? Yeah. I mean, that could work, but it's not in the Bible, but it might have been a thing. What else? What would you do if you were getting ready for a big trip? What sort of things would you do? Yeah. You're going to pack, right? So they brought a bunch of stuff with them. Maybe on a camel. No camels in the Bible. Don't know. What else? How do you figure out where you're going? Yeah. You might need a map. Back then, maps were hard to find. Follow the star. They did a bunch of research. They read a bunch of stuff because they were super smart people. And so they read as much as they could. They read everything. And the only scroll they could find that talked about some star going this direction was from Jewish folks. These Jewish prophets that had happened a couple hundred years before had written down some stuff about really important people coming, and maybe there being a star. So they decided, let's go and ask in Judea, except there was somebody there. Does anyone remember the crown is in the shape of, it's whose crown? The crown cake. The cake is round because it's a crown shape. Anyone know? Herod was the king. Yeah. Herod's not super Jewish. We'll talk about that in a hot minute. All right, we've got 5 words here. I want you to talk to your small group guide and see if you can come up with a definition of 3 of the 5. You've got a whole minute. Go now. See who thinks they can come up with 3 of the 5. These are hard words. Hard words. Jump over with Stu. It's hard. My brain's not working yet because it's January, 4th, 5th? What's today? 4th? No, it's hard. Do you remember anything about the Bible, about Christmas? Oh, am I dead? No, I'm not dead. Three of the 5. Ooh. All right, who has at least 1 word defined? Who has 2? Who has 3? All right, Epiphany. What's epiphany? Yeah, we normally use it like if you have an epiphany, you have a realization. But what else does epiphany mean? There's 2 meanings today. 2 meanings, yeah. It is a whole season in church. That's a 3rd meaning. I forgot about that one, but you are very right and super important to have that one down. What's the other thing for epiphany? Yeah. Yeah, Epiphany is what we call the 12th day of Christmas, January 6th, the day when the Magi showed up, right? Okay, Gentiles. I don't think we've ever talked about this. You know what it is? What does Gentiles mean? Anyone who's not Jewish. So raise your hand if you're a Gentile. Okay, it took me like years. When I was your age, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not a Gentile because no one ever told me that we are. If you're not Jewish, you're Gentile. So you will know. Like, you know if you're Jewish. If you're not Jewish, you are this. It's everyone else. Yeah. All right, Herod the Great. Hint is a person. Who's Herod the Great? We had a couple of ideas, yeah? He was a king, yeah? Maybe bad. What else? Eventually, Herod wants to kill Jesus, right, in this story. Yeah, for sure. What else? Why do they call him great if he's bad and wants to kill Jesus? He is paying a lot of people to call him great. Kings used to be able to do that. It's the thing. Yes, he was a really powerful king, and he was a king of Judea, or the place where most of the Jews lived. And so that's the guy that the Magi asked, right? They read these books, these scrolls, and the scrolls said, well, there's, going to be a really important person born, king of the Jews, so we're going to go to the place where there's some Jews and ask their king. And that made total sense to them. But they get there, and the Magi ask Herod, and things go wrong. So did we figure out what Magi mean? Anybody? Anybody? What do we think we know about Magi? We're not sure? We're still not sure about Magi? Yeah.
Okay, this is just a guess. The wise men, or like you said, maybe like the professor.
Right. So wise people is not a horrible definition of them, right? But we have no idea. Magi doesn't have a gender, so we don't know if they were men or women. We don't know how many they were, or if they had camels. Like those things we do not know. Yes. We do. Yeah, okay, that's a good way to think of it. Magi is like majesty, right? So we don't know if they were kings, we don't know if they were men, or we don't know if they were wise, or that there were 3 of them. So we know very little about these Magi, but they definitely showed up. Anyone know what homage means? I pronounce it homage. How are we supposed to pronounce it? Is it homage? Homage?
I've heard all three.
Is it English? What is it? Homage?
Like, I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Which someone is like paying respects.
Yeah, it's like paying respect. Yeah. I don't ever use this word except on Epiphany, so yay for you. Okay, look at this. You did it. Epiphany is the church holiday where the Magi visited Jesus, and it means revelation or smartness, right? Now, the core thing that we believe is that Epiphany is when, like, the whole world figured out, like, whoa, like a light bulb moment, like, oh, Jesus is going to be the king of everybody, not just Jewish folks, right? Gentiles are people who aren't Jewish. Herod the Great was in charge, like a king in charge of Judea. Magi were astrologers, dream interpreters. They were from a place called Iran. Today it's called Iran. Back then it was called Persia, yep. And then homage is respect. Awesome. Okay, how many Magi were there?
3.
Not 3. How many? There we go. That is the right answer. We do not know. Where were they from? Iran. Used to be called Persia, we think. We're not sure because the Bible says from the east, but we think that's where. Did they ride camels? Also, the right answer is this one. We don't know. How old was Jesus when they arrived? How old? Like 2 days? 20 years? 12 days old? Good guess? Also, the answer is this. But we're guessing probably 2. And I want you, when you read the story with your small group guide, to pay attention to why we are guessing that Jesus was almost 2, okay? This, again, we're not exactly sure, but we think.
Were they hiding out in the manger or not the place?
No, it was a really long walk. Really, like back then, from Iran to there, like walking would have taken you a really long time. So we don't know for sure, but it was up to 2 years. Okay, so anybody know anything about the star? Was it a star? Was it magic? Was it a sign? Was it angels? Again, yeah, we're not positive, yeah. What's Polaris? Polaris is the name of a star? Is it like a really bright one? It's a North Star. But that wouldn't help them get to Bethlehem. That'd help them go to the North Pole, right? We think that it was a couple of planets, actually, that sort of lined up around that time to be like really glowing. We're not positive again, but we think around that time that would have happened. Anyone know why they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh? Anybody know what incense is? Like today, do you know what incense is? It's like, yeah, what is it? Yeah, they're sticks with like smelly stuff, and when you light them, it's like fire potpourri, right? And it smells. Yeah, incense smells really good. Anybody know what myrrh is? Myrrh is like a sap. It's like maple syrup, but from a different kind of tree. And so they used to use incense and myrrh with really rich people to help them. They were very expensive because they were hard to get, but they helped rich people to smell nice and look nice, right? So that would have been a big thing. You're going to do this with your group. All right. Fun facts. Anybody remember Jacob and Esau? How are they related? Jacob and Esau. This is like from back in September. Anybody remember Jacob and Esau? How are they related? I'll give you a hint. They're boys. They're both boys. Anybody remember? You think you know? They are brothers. Not only just regular brothers. What kind of brothers are they? They were born at the same time. They're twin brothers, right? So, Abraham had Isaac, and Isaac had these two twin brothers, and Jacob took the blessing. So then Jacob had 12 sons who became the 12, what? Anybody remember? The 12 tribes of Israel, right? And so that became like all the Jewish people. So Esau was this other person and like had another bunch of descendants and became this other group of people, right? That sort of happened. I want you to read this part in verse 4. I didn't know this till this week. King Herod actually asked a bunch of Jewish priests, where is baby Jesus born? And they're like, oh, over in Bethlehem. And they didn't go find him. Like they knew Jesus was getting born in Bethlehem and they decided to just not do anything about it. Anyway, I didn't know that till this week. And Bethlehem is about a 3-hour walk from Jerusalem. So I want you to think about how this story is similar to Moses' birth story. And now here's the funny video because I like it. It's very cool. Yeah, today it's like not even 30-minute drive. It is maybe like a 3-hour walk. It's like less than 10 miles. Yeah. Like 10 miles away, like from here to Kenosha. That's how far it is. But back then, they were going to go slow. Camel or no camel. All right, this is just funny, also not entirely biblical, but humorous.
Guy! Wait up!
Thought you said we lost him.
I found you all! Woo! Thank goodness for that star. If it weren't for that star, I wouldn't have found you guys. Woo!
Pretty convenient that now you can read the stars.
Oh no, just that big super bright one. I mean, it's like, bam! But I'm still gonna need directions home. Can someone write that down for me?
We don't have time for this. We're going to see the Messiah.
Look at us, the 4 wise men. We're inseparable.
More like insufferable.
Speaking of suffering, my feet can't take much more walking. It's been 3 years. We should have been home by now.
You guys can blame me all day for losing those camels, but you all knew going into this that my double hitch knot needed a little work.
Why don't we proceed in silence, reverent silence, in honor of the Messiah?
Totally cool with that.
Good.
So, I was thinking about my gift. I mean, what baby needs white jade anyway, right?
We've been over this 1,000 times. White jade represents his purity and goodness. The gold represents his royalty. The burning of frankincense reminds us that the aura of God is around us at all times, and the myrrh is to anoint him as King of Kings.
Right. Just listen. I think I found a better gift. A gift that will make everyone forget that I lost the white jade.
You what?
I mean, I think a gift that makes The white jade just looked like nothing. A gift that's better than the white jade that I replaced.
You replaced with what?
The greatest gift of all. Oh yeah. Wait for it. Wait for it. Blam! Hummus!
You must be kidding.
Do you mean you must be kidding? Because I'm not kidding at all. Hummus is delicious, okay? And it's very symbolic. People unite together when they see hummus. Much like a savior. Okay. This is my bad. This is on me. You guys go see the Messiah. I'll just stay here.
I think that would be best. But at least you have a snack.
Yeah. I just thought it just doesn't matter what we bring this little king. He doesn't need any of our gifts. I mean, you know, he's a savior. I mean, he's a gift to us. Maybe I was hoping he's bigger than all my mistakes. Yeah, I guess that's what I was hoping. All right, I'll see you guys later. Why are you doing that?
Because I hope he's that kind of a savior too. Let's go.
I wish someone had some pita bread. Blam!
Yeah, again, none of that is in the Bible. But the gold, frankincense, and myrrh is in the Bible. That's about it. Some wise guys. That's about all. All right, quiz show. They might have. There's no volcanoes in that area, but if there were. Maybe. All right, so that's your bonus question with your small groups today. We had a couple of questions I was going to ask you about back here, but I forgot what they are. Oh, what presents would you give to somebody really important, right? Like maybe hummus. Maybe you're okay with giving hummus. That's fine if hummus is your gift, right? And then your other bonus question is, right, like, do we give Jesus gifts? What do you think? Like, maybe that fourth crazy wise guy was right. Maybe Jesus just came to give us gifts. I don't know. I think you should talk about it with your peeps. All right. Ooh, we didn't talk about this, so this is like a bonus question. Herod is the king, and he wanted to find Jesus in order to do what? What do you think he wanted to do with Jesus? Like bring him hummus? Bring him back to the palace? Have a parade? What do you think Herod was all excited about with this king? You got an idea? No. No ideas? Any ideas in the back? No? Okay, what do you think? Yes, he wanted to find Jesus in order to kill him, which is not good. Do you think the Magi helped him with that plan? No. All right, the Magi offered Jesus 3 gifts. Anybody remember the 3 gifts? Anybody remember? Yeah. Frankincense, myrrh, and gold. That's really good. Excellent. All right, the visit of the Magi was remarkable because they were blank or non-Jews, and they offered blank to Jesus. These are 2 of those really hard words you talked about with your group. Anybody remember either of those 2 really hard words? You remember them? What's one of them or 2 of them? Gentiles. Anybody know the other one? It was a really hard word. You got it? Homage. We think that's right, Pastor Sheila? I don't know. Homage? I don't know. I didn't do well in Greek. Okay. Ooh, barely said this at the beginning. The visit of the Magi reveals, right, it's like this epiphany, like this light bulb moment for the folks, especially Jewish folks, because they really thought Jesus was just their Messiah just for them, which is not a bad thing to think, right? I want somebody just for me. So when the Magi show up and worship Jesus and they're not Jews, it reveals that Jesus is the ruler for who? It could be 1 word or 2 words. What do you think? Everybody. Yeah. What were you going to say? The whole world. Yeah. And that's kind of a big deal because that's how we end up being people that follow Jesus later. This is kind of a pretty important part of the story. All right, we're good. Now you're going to hang out with your small groups, read the story, check it out, see what happens. talk to me about groups. I think we're good for today because there's only 3 in your group, right? So Pastor Sheila, but I only have 1. Thanks, folks online. Join us soon. Okay. Who is going where?